These are some of the biggest money mistakes that unfortunately people in their 60s make, and they can be hard to reverse. I don't want to see that happen to you, so let's jump in. And the first one is not maintaining some stock exposure after they retire. The thought process is, I've got a shorter time horizon. I don't want to take the risk. But for many of us, the riskier thing to do is to have no equity exposure. Most of us need to maintain some growth potential even once we retire. Because think about it, even if you wait till you're 65 or 70 to retire, most folks are going to plan for at least 20 to 30 years. That's a long time. And it's a long time to not have the growth potential of equities. The next one is not running the numbers on whether it makes sense for you to continue to own your home or to rent your home. A lot of people just default to, I'm going to own my home. And you know what? That's worked out really well over the last 20, 30 years as the price of homes have gone up. But with the escalating cost of home insurance and property taxes going up, and properly maintaining your house becomes harder, and it's become much more expensive in the last 4 or 5 years with inflation. It's hard to get somebody that you can even find somebody that you can trust, let alone that has the time to do some of the smaller projects that if we don't do them when we should do them, they become bigger problems. So it might make sense financially, it might not, but I think it's important to run the numbers. The next one is continuing to help your adult children that can take care of themselves, right? It's become commonplace for people in their 60s to help their adult kids maybe buy their first house. It's become commonplace to help your adult children that already have an undergraduate degree to get a master's or a PhD. It's become commonplace to maybe help them buy a new car. And you know what? There are loans for all of those, right? It's called mortgages. It's what you and I did. It's called student loans. It's probably what you and I did. It's called car loans. It's probably what you and I did. But you know what they don't have loans for? They don't have loans for retirement. So be extra careful on that. And the next one is kind of a hidden cost, a hidden mistake, which is not spending the time, not spending the effort, not spending the money in order to keep yourself as healthy as you can. And not only will we enjoy retirement more if we're healthy, but it'll also help keep our healthcare costs as low as possible. Fidelity says that once we turn 65 years old, even with Medicare, we're still looking at $165,000 of costs for the cost of Medicare itself and for the things that Medicare won't cover over the rest of our lifetime, $165,000 per person. And that does not include the cost of long-term care insurance. So staying healthy is important, and making wise decisions on Medicare is also important, which is why I'm glad to partner in today's video with Chapter. Chapter provides free Medicare advice to their clients. An open enrollment period is about to start. Open enrollment for Medicare, where people can look at various plans and make a choice as to whether they want to stay with their plan or change. That open enrollment period runs October 15th to December 7th. And people that don't look at their plans every year run the risk of potentially their doctors might not be in their plan for the next year, or they might end up overpaying for the plan and the care that they want. I don't want to see that happen to you, which is why I agreed to partner with Chapter on this video. They have access to all the plans nationwide, the information on those, and they're going to tell you whether your existing plan is the right plan for you or if it makes sense for you to consider a different plan. The average person saves $1,100 from their call with Chapter if they end up switching plans, and they're not going to pester you forever. So it's important to work with an expert that's listening first, hearing what your situation is, and bringing their expertise to bear for you. You can reach Chapter at this phone number up here. Pro tip: Open enrollment period is very busy for all Medicare advisors. Give them a call on the phone. It's the quickest way to get a hold of them, or use the link below. Thank you again, Chapter, for sponsoring this video. Number 5 on my list of the biggest money mistakes people in their 60s make. And this is a big one because it can last a lifetime. And that is starting Social Security at 62 just because they can. I urge you to run scenarios to look at what is the right age for you. And if you have longevity on your side, you may want to consider postponing Social Security as long as you can so that you get that higher payment. So if you start at 62, you're just going to get 70% of your full retirement age benefit. If you wait until you're 70, you'll get 124% of that full retirement age benefit. The difference is almost 80% in the monthly checks that you're going to receive for the rest of your life. There is no right or wrong answer for all of us. It's just the answer that's right for you. I urge you to use software to help you make that decision. Also, the next one is not taking advantage of the tax window that you have in your 60s before you get to your required minimum distributions with your IRA. So most of us have 3 types of accounts. We have a taxable account like at our bank, normal account at Charles Schwab or Fidelity. We have a what I call a tax me later account, which is a regular IRA or a regular 401k. And then some of us are going to have the Roth versions of those IRAs and 401ks. And the nice thing about having those 3 buckets is we can look and take money out when it's the most tax advantaged for us, including considering whether to do a Roth conversion or not. But to do these things, we have to have a plan. I urge you to work with a financial advisor to come up with a plan for these things. If you really want to do it yourself, use software that's designed to help you with this. Don't use Google Sheets. Don't use Excel. The software that I like is called Bolden. It used to be called New Retirement. You can use the link here. I am an affiliate, so if you use this link, you'll be supporting the channel. Thank you. But don't use Google Sheets. Don't use Excel. It's just too easy to make a mistake and takes too long. Again, use this link here. Number 7 mistake that I see people make is keeping their spouse in the dark on their investments and their financial plan and their finances in general. How much money are we spending every month? Things like that. None of us know how long we have, and it's really important at least twice a year to sit down with your spouse. And, many of us kind of segment out or delegate or share responsibilities. One person's responsible for the finances, the other person that, is responsible for other things. If that's your situation, it's important that both you and your spouse understand the finances and the investments. And then the last one I'd say is not having an estate plan, not having a game plan for how do you want your assets handled when you pass. I should say there's one more big mistake that people make, and that is working too long before they retire. And that's why I made this video here. Why waiting to 65 to retire might be a big mistake. Thanks for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.